This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. It's the morning after a great fight on Channel 5 last night with Denzel Bentley and Linus Udofia. Wasn't to be your night. First of all, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling all right, you know. It was one of them fights where it could have gone either way and no one could have really argued the decision if it had, if it had gone my way. Close. I don't think a lot of people would have argued it. If it had gone a draw, a lot of people wouldn't have argued it, and it had gone Denzel's way, a lot of people aren't arguing it. So it's one of them. It's one of them. I feel okay though. I feel like I gave a really good account of myself and showed the nation what I'm about. So no, I feel really good. I feel pride.
Let's talk about the scorecards. It was a split decision victory in favour of Denzel. Let me ask your opinion about the 116-112 scorecard, one of the cards for Bentley, which seemed a bit harsh on you, that scorecard. I'm sure you'll see that as well.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit wide for my liking, but I get it. They got a hard job. It was a good fight. It was like there were some rounds where you really couldn't separate it. There were some rounds where I was really up, and then Denzel came in strong, and then there were some rounds where Denzel was up. Then I came back strong, and it's hard to score. It's hard. They got a hard job as it is, So it can happen. It can happen. I'm not saying it was right. I'm not saying I'm happy with it, but they've got a hard job too.
The course of that fight, obviously, people scoring that ringside yesterday, and obviously scoring that home. I suppose it's one of these fights that I'd like to watch it back myself. We spoke about this earlier on. When it's 1 round, 2 rounds in it. Very subjective, and it is different. You're watching it there, but it is one of those fights that I'm assuming that you guys at some point will watch back again. But he believes he won, you believe you won. But if it was given a draw, I don't think anyone would have argued with that either.
Yeah, like I said, it was one of them fights. It was a really good fight, and there were some rounds that just didn't really have anything in it. There were some rounds where literally it was one punch in it, and it was one of those where if it was scored the same way to me or the same way to him, pardon me, or draw, it wouldn't have been any uproar, and it was just one of them fights. Like I said, it was going to be a domestic classic, and I think we lived up to it.
Did Denzel surprise you with any aspect of his game yesterday? Were you expecting exactly how he fought from you and your team's perspective?
I didn't think. I don't know. It was a weird one. The only thing I thought was he had some long levers. That was the only thing that was relatively surprising. But if anything, he fought a weird game. He fought a weird game. He was on the front foot a lot more than I thought he would be. But it's nothing we weren't ready for, But yeah, it was. There was nothing that we hadn't prepared for, and there was nothing that we hadn't prepared for. Then when it all came up, it was no matter what he did, whether he went on the back foot, whether he came on the front foot, whether he got really aggressive. There was nothing we weren't ready for. So nothing surprised me in that aspect.
Saw a tweet from Denzel this morning saying, "You can fucking fight." So I suppose there would have been aspects of yourself that possibly not surprised them, but the same question I just asked you. But I suppose that they may have given you more credit after the fight last night to previously what they thought. Possibly that could be a situation.
Yeah, I think so. His trainer, I want to say Martin Bowers, whatever the trainer's name, he came up to me and he was like, mate, we knew you could fight, but we didn't think you were that good. You know what I mean? He gave me a lot of respect. They gave me a lot of compliments, and it was good to show what I'm about. And I always knew I got it in me, and it was good. It was good to get out there and show what I'm actually about, and actually show it to the public now. So now I feel like everybody knows what I'm about.
There was a moment in that fight, which will be talked about, obviously. Was it a knockdown? Was it not knockdown, etc.? Could you just, from your perspective, just talk to me about the touching the canvas point?
I don't really recall touching the canvas, but I saw he was going to throw the right hand, and I thought, let me beat him to it first. And I think I just must have got caught in between. I watched it. There was a little bit where I watched back. And I don't know. If I touched the canvas, I touched the canvas. If I didn't, then I didn't. But the ref never scored it a knockdown. I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't really recall it. I don't really recall touching the canvas. But do you know what I mean? I've watched it back. might have happened. I don't know. I don't know. I've got to watch it back again in different angles. But you know, what I mean, whatever it was, the ref never said anything about it.
How do you assess Bentley's power, having now shared the ring with him?
Yeah, it's good power. Maybe I can take a shot well, but it wasn't as ferocious as I expected. It wasn't as spiteful as I expected. And to be fair, you know, the power dissipated as the rounds went on. The power got, you know, less and less and less and less. So, do you know what I mean? The further you dragged him out, the less dangerous he became. And but you know, his power was good. You know what I mean? He caught me with some shots. You know what I mean? He's very sharp. You know what I mean? Like his name, he's very sharp. He's a very good fighter. But yeah, he's got good power. He's got very good fundamentals. You know, he's got very good fundamentals.
Now, from a fan perspective, if we'd like to see that fight again, absolutely. It was a great fight. Like I said, fitting for that to be aired on terrestrial TV with Channel 5 yesterday. But it's not necessarily the right thing, A, for yourself. I suppose it makes more sense. But for Denzel as well, it's got to make the similar sense, or ish sense, for you guys to run that back.
Yeah, for me, obviously, it's got to make sense for both of us. You know, I've got to sit down with my trainers, manager, the promoter, Wasserman, Sowlands, and see what options we have and see where we can actually go. You know, I can't imagine. You know, I mean, he's won it. He's his second time winning it now. So, do you know what I mean? Does it really make sense for him to fight again? Does it make sense to what? You know, how would it even work? You know, he'd probably have to go for a voluntary, and then I'd have to be mandated again and things like that. And so, you know, it probably doesn't even make sense for him to do it again. So we just have to see what our options are. I'm very open to it. Of course, I'm very open to it. But, you know, we'd have to see what the options are in general to go from there.
But, yeah, speaking to you this morning, you seem quite, not chilled out. Obviously, listen, none of you guys obviously want to go through losses, etc. But, you know, you were saying to me earlier on that when you put on a show like that and kind of show a little bit about what you're about, we know there's more in the tank, and probably Denzel will say the same thing as well. But when you do that and you're entertaining the public, I suppose, does that give you any satisfaction, despite not winning last night?
Yeah, you know, like I said, I feel pride. I feel very proud of myself. I feel very proud of myself and my team and all the hard work we've done, and do you know what I mean, all the investment and everything. I feel very proud of yesterday. I think a lot of it came out. I still, you know, obviously, I still feel like I did enough to walk away as a champion today, but it doesn't take anything away from Bentley. I think, you know what I mean, massive credit to him. He was a great fighter. He did, you know what I mean, he did everything right, and I think we both did everything right and kind of just left it all in there. We both left it in there, and you know, you see the end of the fight, I came out in that last round and I just thought to myself, you know, I got told as well, just don't get put on your ass this round and you become a British champion. And I was like, yeah. And then, you know, the last 10 seconds I had my hands up and I was like, I think I've done this. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's one of those. But you know, I feel like I showed the tip of the iceberg of what I'm about. There's a lot more in the tank for me, and I feel like I've kind of said where my level is. Do you know what I mean? And where I'm about, and that's how I feel anyway. What do you think?
Yeah, I tend to agree with the majority of what you said there. I think you did show exactly what you're about. But I think people know you as a fighter anyway and have seen you fight before, and not surprised about you putting in that kind of performance last night. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you know, but you know, I'm just happy it was free to air. You know what I mean? A good fighter in Denzel, and yeah, we'll be back again, you know, but you know, I feel proud of myself. I feel proud of everything I've done. I feel proud of people around me. I feel proud of my team, and so I mean, we've all done very well. It just wasn't our night.
If you scroll through your timeline last night, which I'm sure you did, what was your fan base saying about how that fight went?
Just like how Denzel's would have said, you know, mine was saying everyone I've spoken to and a lot of people I've spoken to had me up by when the fight finished. They had me up a round or two, and that's what a lot of people were saying to me. And yeah, I understand there's a little bit of bias in the sense of that, you know, they want me to win, they're supporting me, but that's what my timeline was like, and it was very good. You know what I mean? There was no spitefulness with me and Denzel. There was no bad blood. It was really respectful. And you know what I mean, like he said in on his Twitter, he was like, I can fight. And I mean, there's a lot of respect there. He can fight too, and yeah, it was good. I've enjoyed like scrolling through the timeline. It's actually quite a lot. I think I've got more respect out of a fight like that than anything, you know.
Okay, but like I said, we'll see what happens. Like I said, you guys have got to both do what's best for your careers, and if it makes sense at some point, whenever it is, the fans will take it. We'll watch that again, no problem. Right, have you got anything else you'd like to add before we finish, mate? It's like a sauna in here, by the way.
I love it. That's why I think I'm topless. Yeah, no, just a massive shout out to everyone that's supporting me. A massive shout out to my sponsors, Old Troll UK, DNI Family Butchers, Pepes, Puri Puri, and Lion Hound Stitch, and everyone that's supporting me. You know what I mean? Massive shout out to Luton as well. It's everyone that's supporting me and all my supporters. You know, massive thank you. And we didn't get it last night, but it'll come again.
Quick question about Pepe's Peri Peri. So they sponsor you. Can you just like walk into any Pepe's and be like, "Yo, this," like a black card, but in Pepe's? Is it?
Yeah, I've got a literally.
Is that a joke? Have you actually got one?
I've got a black card. I've got a black card.
For Pepe's?
Yeah, I've got a black card. I can just go in, get what I want. Obviously they pay me as sponsorship, but no, I can just go into any shop in the country and just swipe, do what I want.
Interesting. Okay. Pepe's, if you're watching. Linus, thank you very much for your time. Great show last night, and like I said, it wasn't to be your night, but yeah, I can see you're trying to already take the positives from last night and move forward from it already.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I'm no fool. I don't think it was perfect. I don't think it was a perfect performance. I think there was some times where I did some things I shouldn't have done. I got involved a few times. There's some things we've got to work on, but all that, I still think I did enough. But, you know, obviously, you know what I mean? Me and my team, we're quite smart, we're quite diligent, and we'll go back and work on those things and we'll come back stronger.
Linus, thank you very much. Like I said, talking to IFL TV, and we'll definitely catch up with you again soon, my friend.
Definitely. See you soon. Thanks for having us.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.